18th, 2022. And we're going to do, the morning stretch routine I used to do back when I had severe back pain to get my back pain, to lessen up. So today for equipment, you're going to need a foam roller, a stretch band or a towel, some sort of pillow, or if you have one, I recommend an Eric's pad, and a medicine ball or something to help keep your hips stacked for a later stretch we are going to do. So just to let you know, I am a pain-free movement specialist. And I concentrate on people that suffer from back pain because I used to have back pain, and I know what to do to get out of back pain and then keep it away permanently. So these are all the things that you should focus on, at least stretch-wise, to help get you back pain free. So let's start with the foam roller. So I want you to sit on the foam roller, balance yourself, use your hands. Take one ankle, put it on your opposite knee, turn so you're just on that cheek. Give it a couple rolls because you more than likely have knots in your hips. There are probably other places where we should focus on, but today we're just going to focus on pretty much loosening up everything kind of around the hips to help relieve the back pain. And if you're curious as to why I'm having you work on your hips to relieve the back pain, leave comments below and I will send you to a video that explains all that. Or if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments and I will get back to you or do a video on it. After you give each side a few rolls, you will definitely feel a tight spot in your hip, especially closer to your lower back. So once you get all that set up, let's stand up tall. Put your foam roller off to the side. We won't need that for a bit, if at all. And now what we're going to do is some dynamic stretching because you never want to do static stretching cold, especially if you have lower back pain. Do not stretch cold. Always do some sort of like mobility warm up to get everything, nice and warmed up and ready to go. So now we're going to do high knee. So what you're going to do is pull the knee into your chest, hold it if you can, bring it back down. Do the same thing on the other side. Stay tall. Try not to round. Okay, and then after that, we're going to do heel to butt. Get it as close to your butt as you can if you can grab it. If you can't grab it, just kind of tap. Otherwise, if you can, really bring it up, hold for a second. Don't hold it too long. You want it to be more dynamic, not static. I think this is 5. Okay, so now what you're going to do, if your back is not currently bothering you, you can use a little English to pick the leg up. Otherwise, just use your core muscles to raise the leg as high as you can. If you can get it to parallel, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. Okay, I believe this is 5. So now what you're going to do, and if you need something to balance on, make sure you have a sturdy object to put your hand on. And if you need to balance, just stay to one side and then switch over. Otherwise, if you can balance fairly well, pick one leg up, tilt forward, reach for the floor using those butt muscles, come up tall, do the same thing on the other side, tilt forward, up, keeping your back in neutral. Try not to round. At any point during any of the stretches we do today, keep your back in its neutral position. Do not round forward. And if I haven't said this, if anything hurts your back, just skip the stretch. You do not want to aggravate it. The whole idea is to loosen everything up. Because if we aggravate it, it's going to tighten itself up to prevent the aggravation. So what you're going to do now, cross over. Reach down as far as you can. Feel that butt again. Back up to tall. Cross over. Reach down. Remember, you're focusing into the hips, not your lower back. Coming all the way to tall in between each one. You want to be able to stare at me. It'd help if I could stop losing count. Okay, awesome. Staying tall again, keeping that core tight. I want you to take a lateral step, stretch the inner thigh, working this muscle or working this leg. Come back to center, step out to the other side, back to center. We're going to go side to side, really focusing on getting a nice stretch, sitting that butt back of the leg you're stepping out with. Can't remember, I think this is 5. Awesome. So that's it for the dynamic stretching. So I'm going to have you get your pillow or whatever you're using, Eric's pad, put it down, and you're going to lie back on it. If you don't need a pillow, you don't have to use it, but I recommend it just to keep everything in line. It also prevents the room from spinning, at least for me. Ugh. Okay, lie on your back, get comfortable, and then what you're going to do, take one ankle, put it on your other knee, pull that leg back, keep this leg as far. So you want the knee to be as much over the hip as possible. You don't want it to kick back to your chest. Pull the back, feel a nice stretch in your butt. I go for 15 more seconds. Okay, put that down. Switch over, other leg, pull it back. Make sure again that other knee stays relatively over your hip. Do not let it come back to your chest. Again, feeling the stretch in your butt. Like I said, if you feel anything in your lower back, skip it. Do 5 more seconds. Okay, put that leg down. I want you to keep that leg bent. I want you to take whatever leg you weren't just using, put the stretch band or the towel around it, straighten your leg. Make sure it's as straight as possible. If the leg is bent, you are just contracting, not stretching. Point the toes down towards you, heel to the ceiling. Pull it back as far as you can, feeling the stretch in the belly of the back of your thigh, your hamstring. You feel it in the back of the knee, reposition. Get that leg nice and straight, pull it back as far as you can. The goal is not to, touch your toe to the floor. The goal is to just get a medium stretch. But I haven't said that. So make sure all stretches are medium. You don't want anything more intense than that because then your body can get all freaked out and try to tighten itself up, which is the exact opposite of what we want. So let's go another 10 seconds. So that's not 10, but bend that leg, put your ankle on your knee. Let's switch sides. Again, make sure you get it around the foot. Leg is straight, toes back towards you. Ooh, this side's tighter. Really focusing into the belly of the hamstring. Remember, medium stretch. We want nothing more intense than that. Again, we'll hold for another 20 seconds. Try to make sure you're relaxed, normal breathing. You don't want to, I don't want to say be stiff, but you don't want to, think something's going to bother you and kind of tighten up. You really want to relax. The only thing that you should feel any sort of stress in is the muscle you're stretching. Okay, bend that leg. Put your stretch band off to the side. I want you to straighten the leg that you just stretched. Take the other leg, bend it. Put your opposite hand on the knee, same side hand at the ankle. Pull it back as close to your chest as you can. Really feeling again in the butt. You do not want to feel anything in the lower back. If you do, just relax, skip this one. Or if you feel a pinching in the front of your hip, also try to relax. See if you can get that pinching away. And if you can't, just skip this stretch. And if you're super tight, you might also feel a stretch in the top of the thigh and the hip flexor on the opposite side. Okay, put that leg down. Let's pick up the other leg. Again, same deal. Opposite hand at your knee, same side hand at the ankle. Pull it back as close to your chest as you can, feeling a stretch in the butt. Again, if you feel any sort of stretch or strain in the lower back, stop. Or if you feel a pinching in your hip flexors, try to reposition. And if you still feel it, just skip this one. Okay, we'll say that's 30. So very carefully bring that leg to straight. And then what we're going to do is bend both legs, but pull one back separately, not both at the same time. Give your knees a great big hug. Pull them back as close to your chest as you can. You want your hips to come off the ground. You do not want to round your lower back, just your hips. If you feel the back coming up, try to drop down. If you're just too stiff to pull back, skip this one. Also, if you feel a pinching in the front of your hips, try to reposition. If you still feel it when you pull it back, just skip it. We'll go for another 10 seconds. If you relax at any point, you can pull back a little more. Okay, put one leg down, then the other, and then roll to the side. Try to one big roll. And you're going to sit up nice and tall. Ooh. Wait for the room to stop spinning. Okay, so now sit up tall. You're going to put the bottoms of your feet together. Make sure you can stay up neutral. You do not want to be rounding forward, so do not worry about how far back you pull the feet. Just worry about keeping your back neutral. You'll probably tilt forward from the hips, but make sure your spine stays neutral. No rounding at any point. Especially don't pick your head up to look at the camera like I keep doing. Just hold that position. Relax the rest of your body, feeling a nice stretch in your inner thigh muscles. We'll go for another 10 seconds. Okay, straighten that leg. Make sure you can actually see my leg. And what you're going to do is turn to that side. But if you feel any sort of strain in your lumbar spine, don't turn as much. Remember, tilting from the hips, do not round the back. Reach as close to your toes as you can. Again, feeling a medium stretch in the belly of the back of your thigh, or middle of the back of your thigh. And if by chance you feel that you're relaxed and you can reach a little more without rounding, feel free. Go for another 10 seconds. Okay, up tall, switch legs. Remember, twist slightly to that side, reaching down, feeling the stretch in the back of the thigh, your hamstring, medium stretch. Again, no rounding, just tilt forward from your hips. And again, if you feel like getting a little looser as the stretch goes on, feel free to reach forward, but no more than a medium intensity to the stretch. Excuse me. Okay, back up to tall, back to the first leg, straighten it out, but this time you're going to take the other leg, cross it over, again, stay tall and neutral, you are not rounding. Twist from your middle back as far as you can. If you feel anything in the lower back, just kind of skip this one. Make sure it's all in the middle back. If you feel a twisting or a stretch in the lower back, stop. Go back to the center and relax. Slowly go back to center. Switch sides. Again, tall and neutral, no rounding. Turning as far as you can from the middle back. If you feel anything in your lower back, just skip this. If you notice you're rounding, straighten yourself out. Okay, so back to center. Grab your pillow. Carefully come up to tall. Put your knee on the pillow. Drive your knee down into the pillow, squeezing that butt as tight as you can. Reach for the sky, feeling a stretch in your hip flexor. And if you're super tight, you might feel it all the way up. But really keep yourself neutral, no rounding, especially the people you see that the hip will be way farther back, or the knee will be way farther back than the hip. That's not actually stretching anything. That's just pushing the top of your hip into the joint capsule, so to speak. So the sensation you're feeling is not a stretch. It's like it's very bad. Don't do it. Okay, we'll say that's 30. So switch over, up tall, squeeze, drive that knee down, squeeze your butt, reach for the ceiling, hold that. Again, knee stays under the hip. You want the stretch, not the damage that you're doing by pushing the hip, top of your hip into the hip capsule. Okay, bring that arm down, carefully get up tall. Now you're going to find furniture, something that's between waist and kind of lower chest height. And what you're going to do is you're going to come over, put your hands on that thing, stick your butt out, drop your chest down, really focus on feeling the stretch in all the posterior. But if you feel the lower back stretching, stop. You do not want to feel the lower back stretching, pretty much everything else but. And just relax into that, knees bent slightly. Okay, very carefully get up tall, back to where we were. Okay, this one, if you need to hold on to something, feel free. This will probably be the most challenging one that we do today. So get your feet shoulder width apart, squat down as low as you can, make sure the back does not round, and you're going to get nice and deep. Do not pick your head up, just keep everything neutral. Push out on the knees, focus on feeling a stretch in the butt, and just going to hold it. Going to hold for another 20 seconds. If you can sit nice and deep, great. Otherwise, try to get as low as you can. If you need to, you can hold on to something so you can really drop your butt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, up tall. Last stretch. Use your pillow, use your medicine ball, or whatever you have to keep your hips stacked. You're going to lie on your side. Make sure the hips are stacked up. You're going to rotate from the middle back, getting as far over as you can. If you have to reposition yourself to make sure everything stays where it should, getting your arm as far over as possible. If it touches the floor, great. If it doesn't, just kind of leave it wherever it's hanging out. Again, feeling the stretch in the middle back, maybe in the butt or the chest, depending on if you are super tight. If you are feeling it in your chest and everything, you really need to stretch more. Actually, you really need to move around throughout the day more as well. Whew. Oh, so I've got to bend the elbow before you come back. Okay, again, bend the elbow, roll back to center, and we are all done. Whew, head rush again. Awesome. So I hope your back is feeling better. Just to let you know, stretching, which does feel better, mainly treats the symptoms of whatever the underlying cause is, which is causing the lower back pain and the stiffness. There's other things that you have to deal with to make sure that it doesn't keep coming back, because you want to eventually get to the point where you don't have to do it every day to alleviate the back pain. You just want the back pain gone. So if you'd like to set up a call so I can go over, an assessment to see, what I feel is the underlying cause, and if I can help you, and if you'd like me to help you, we can discuss that. But, you can leave a comment below. I will leave my email address that you can contact me. We can set that up, because, I've been pain-free for years. I've helped hundreds of other people become pain-free, and I'd like to help you too. So this is Paul F. Sweat, pain-free movement specialist, signing off. And until next time, train smart, train hard, train safe, train to sweat.